So let's take a look at how to do some conditional formatting with our Excel file here. So coming up to this point, let us just do a little bit. Let's format this table here. We'll come to the format as table. We have to format this as a table. To do that, we'll come to this tab here and let's use this here. Or we'll click that, it looks at this range for us already automatically. If this is not the range we want, we can define the range that we want, but here it picks out the range for us here. My table has headers. If your table did not have a header, you want to check that, but since our table has header, we check that and then we select OK. Let me extend this and we select OK, and then we now have a formatted table. Let's make this to be in a better way that we can see it. Okay, I think I prefer this, which is a lot clearer. Let us format these cells here. Can format these cells as totals. Let's put them like this. Okay, so we have our totals down there. Then we can do a little bit of conditional formatting. So let's say we want to looking at each of these figures for every month. We want to represent them by want some kind of indicator that will show us where we spend the most or where we spend the least. So to do that, we can just highlight the range that we want. Let's see everything up to that point and then come to conditional formatting, and then let's put data bars here. Others okay. Let's use this. This is a lot better gradient fill. So here we can see clearly that 402,000. Clearly, just looking at this, inspecting this, you can already see that this is where the most was spent. This is where the most was spent, and this is where the most was spent here. This is the least spending category. If we decide to do the same thing for this part, we'll be able to point out which was our highest expenses, and that was in our computer accessories. Now, apart from using the data bars that we have here, there are a few other conditional formattings you can do. Let's clear the data bars first that we have here. Let's clear them. Come here, come on, clear rules, and let's just clear rules from this table. So we have everything cleared. And let's say we want to look at put some icon sets there or color scales. So color scales where it will put, let's select the range of the tables. Let's select the tables first. So we have everything here. Let's work with that. And then we say want to put some color scales, just like the data bars. So what it does here is applies a color gradient for us. So if we use this, we have our highest values are in green and the lowest values are in red. And so we have them like a gradient some sort. Now, let me apply another formatting on this part so that you can see another example. We have the icon sets, so we can apply an icon set, and you see as I selected this, we have our highest values, the arrows are up, the lowest values, the arrows are down, and the medium values, we have the yellow arrows pointing to the right. Or you can have something like this where you have even more variation, or you have about 5 variations. We have the 4 variations rather, and here we have 5 variations, for the icons. So we have this where you can have some ratings, you can have stars here, you can have bars here and all that. And a couple of other ones that you can look into. You can even declare this, create a new rule where you want the color scale to be a certain color scale for a certain minimum value, or the icon set to be defined for when the value is above something or beneath something or at some point. So it all depends on what you want to do. So don't be afraid to do some more formattings with this table. You can clear this here, clear rows. You can clear this from the entire sheet. So you can clear this and just do whatever formatting that you want to do on your own. Now let's take a look at sorting and filtering. Now remember we formatted this thing as a table, what we had here. So when you format as a table, you already have access to some things that the table allows you to do, like sorting and filtering. So you see at the headers of every of these table, we have these drop downs here. When you click on them, it allows you to sort your values. So I can decide to sort by a certain amount, or in this case, this table is not very suitable for this example, but let's say I want to sort by, I want to filter, or let me come here. Let's say I want to filter by number that is greater than, say numbers that are greater than 300. So you show rows in January where January is greater than 300, and you see we have filtered out every other thing here, and of course that will affect every other row that we have there. So only rows that have January more than 300 are showing. We have computer expenses, travel, and service contracts, and whatever their corresponding values were for the other months, that's what we have there. We can always clear this by coming here, and then we can always clear this by coming here and clear filters from January, and then you have everything there. You can also sort your values. So let's say we want to sort this by largest to smallest. So if we sort it, we see that based on this field, our total, the first thing that comes here is our computer accessories. If we want to sort it by, let's say, largest to smallest for January, so from smallest to largest here, so the least spending was copying, the largest was computer expenses, and then it sorts every other column that we have in our table, sorts according to this sort order that we have put here, following the rule that we have put in for January. So that's basically how sorting and filtering works. Obviously, when you have created your tables, you can also let's clear this sort. Okay, and sort largest to smallest also. So when you have created your table, you can also clear your sort here. If you like, at this moment I've done this sort, let's say I want to clear it, I always clear it from here, or I can sort also from here. I can define a custom sort, here if I want to. So let's try to create a simple chart in Excel. To do that, we go to the Insert tab, and then let us select, let's create a simple bar chart here. So let's look at a bar chart, and a regular bar chart, and then it is picking a range for us. And say we have all our months, January, February, March. Well, let's say we just want to see only our total. So let's drop this to just show us our totals. Exactly. So now we have everything that we have here, our different expenses and their corresponding amounts here. So we have computer expenses, we have travel, we have, let us sort this from largest to smallest so that it affects. All right, so now we see we have our chart here. Looks pretty decent, where we have the highest figure here, so 1,170, and then coming down to the lowest figure there. So basically that's how to create a simple chart. And the awesome thing about these charts is that they are dynamic. So if I alter a figure here, let me make this 20. This is supposed to be 1170, which is here. So if I alter this, let's make this 0. I believe that will reduce what computer expenses is, and our computer expenses suddenly has reduced. And see what we have here, where we have our sort order from largest to smallest. And once we resort it, you can see that it has applied. Our computer expenses is now here. If we decide to put it back as 400, see it has gone back up. And if we do the sort again, you see that we have our figure coming here. And the good thing about your basic chart in Excel is you can do some formatting of your charts. Like in this point, we can add a title here. So let's call this monthly expense by category. So we have that there, and we have everything as it should be here. So this is just a basic chart. In the coming sections where we're going to work with pivot tables and pivot charts, that's when we'll do more complex plotting of visuals. So for now, just know how to work with your tables, know how to do your sorts, regardless of if the table is a large one or a small one as we have here. The sort and your filter and your formatting will still work, and you will still be able to create your charts using the same principles that we have discussed about in this section. Now let's look at how we can do some calculation across multiple sheets. So let's say we have this sheet and we have a different sheet, and we want to reference cells in this sheet and compute some calculations on the new sheet. So you can just let's create a new sheet here and just take some items from here and Control C, and then I come here and then I just paste it, Control V. So I have this here, and let's say I want this to be just the totals here. Let's format this and just make it normal. Okay, so now I want to reference every sheet here, every cell here for these totals. I want to reference them and then have those values show up here. So to do that, remember we have already done cell references earlier where we have 650 here, 70 here, and then I can just reference here and put this and enter, and I also have 70 here. So the same thing applies here. So to reference for computer expenses, I put the equal to sign, and then I come to where computer expenses total is, and I click on that and press enter, and you can see I have computer expenses there. And the awesome thing about this is that you can use the autofill here. So if I do the autofill, you see that we have the figures just as they are here, 966, 913, and so on and so forth, down to copying, which is 140. We also have that here. And if you look at it, you see that it is referencing the sheet 1 and F6 there. That is sheet 1 and column F, row 6 there. For this sheet 1, column F, row 7, column F, row 9, and so on and so forth. So let's let me quickly show you one more thing on how to create percentages using Excel. So let's do an auto sum first here, and we have this. So now I want to look at every single figure here as a percentage of, let's put the total here. Put the total here. So I want to look at what this is as a percentage of the grand total. So to do that, I'll just do this divided by this. And when I click, I want it to always reference that there. So I will make that an absolute reference. Remember, to use an absolute reference, press F4, and I'm making sure that this keeps on referencing this particular column, particular cell. So I click on enter there, and if I drag up to this point, I have my figures here. But these figures I have here, I want them to be in percentages. So to do that, I just highlight the range that I'm looking at, and I'll come up here to this number section, and you can either choose it from here, decide to put it from here, percentage, or you come here and then you select percentages. When I do that, you can see I have 19%, this. So clearly from here, we can already see that, okay, 19% of our expenses came from computer expenses. And from this particular part, you can see that we have close to 70%. This is about 70%, because we have 30 here and we have almost 40 here. So about close to 70% of our total expenses came from just 3 categories of expenses: computer expenses, office supplies, travels, and contracts.